You are only 12 months away from a completely different life. Not by luck, not by chance, but by choice. The truth is, transformation doesn't take time, it takes a decision. And the moment you decide to design your life instead of reacting to it, that's the moment your future begins to shift. The problem isn't that you don't have the time, the problem is that you haven't had the plan. Let me ask you something. If you gave your next 365 days the same energy, focus, and strategy as a multi-million-dollar business plan, do you honestly think you'd stay stuck? Of course not. Because what gets planned gets measured, and what gets measured gets mastered. But most people drift into their future hoping for change instead of engineering it. You don't need another motivational quote. You need a success plan with vision, structure, and commitment. You've got to get crystal clear on what you want. Vague goals produce vague results. Don't say I want more money. Say I want to earn $120,000, 0 cents in the next 12 months, and I'll do it by solving a $10,000, 0 cents per month problem. Don't say I want to be healthier. Say I want to lose 30 pounds by replacing processed food with whole fuel and working out 5 times a week. You see, clarity creates acceleration. Confusion delays destiny. When you define it, you can design it. But a plan without a decision is just a daydream. You got to make a non-negotiable decision that the next year of your life will be radically different. No more excuses, no more delays, no more waiting for perfect conditions. Your destiny is never waiting on your circumstances. It's waiting on your commitment. You change your life the moment you say enough is enough. I'm done with average. I'm done with survival. I'm committed to becoming the version of me that my calling requires. And once that decision is made, you've got to build your life around daily disciplines. Not once a week inspiration, not once a month motivation, daily. Because success doesn't come in a year, it comes in a day repeated 365 times. What you do in private daily will eventually show in public monthly. So craft your routine like your life depends on it, because it does. Discipline doesn't take away your freedom, it gives you access to it. Next, look at who you're walking with. Your environment is either fertilizer for your future or poison to your progress. Are you surrounded by people who challenge your comfort or coddle your excuses because you will never rise higher than the standards of your circle? If you're serious about a 1-year transformation, you've got to audit your influences. Some people are elevators, others are anchors. And if they're not pushing you forward, they're pulling you back. And don't forget, this is a spiritual battle before it's a physical one. You've got to believe before you see. Faith is the force that attracts strategy, people, and resources. When your vision is backed by belief, focused action becomes unstoppable. Doubt divides. Faith multiplies. You don't need to know every step. You just need to trust the next one. Focus your mind, guard your attention, and move forward with conviction. Finally, don't just work the plan. Measure it. Review your progress weekly. Ask yourself, what worked? What didn't? What needs to change? Most people fail because they won't slow down long enough to adjust. But transformation is not about perfection, it's about correction. The key to momentum is reflection. Adjust what needs refining and then scale what works. Because what you repeat, you reinforce. And what you reinforce, you multiply. 1 year. That's all it takes. 1 year of clarity, decisions, discipline, environment, faith, and strategy. And your life will not even be recognizable. Don't let this year pass like the last one. Don't just exist, design. Don't just wish, work. Don't just survive, succeed. Your 1-year success plan is the blueprint, and your decision today is the foundation. So what are you waiting for? Build it, live it, become it. Clarity is the master key that unlocks momentum. When you're clear on what you want, why you want it, and how you're going to pursue it, you move faster, more confidently, and with less hesitation. Most people are not stuck because they're lazy. They're stuck because they're unclear. They haven't taken the time to define success in specific terms, so they chase everything and catch nothing. But when your vision is precise, your decisions become easy. Clarity removes distractions. It tells you what to say yes to, and just as importantly, what to say no to. Without clarity, every opportunity feels like a possibility. With clarity, only alignment matters. You stop chasing what looks good and start building what is good for your assignment. You stop being busy and start being productive. You move from reacting to everything to responding only to what serves your goal. That's where power lives. When you're vague, you hesitate. When you hesitate, you slow down. But when you're clear, you accelerate. You know where to go, what to do, and who to become. You start every day with intention because you know what the target is. You plan your days with precision because you know the mission. Even when challenges show up, and they will, you're not easily shaken because you have direction, you have focus. You have a target. People who succeed in 1 year are not the people with the most talent. They're the people with the clearest target and the highest commitment to hitting it. They don't have perfect plans, they have focused ones. They don't have every step figured out, but they know the destination, and that destination becomes a magnet pulling them through every obstacle, every setback, and every doubt. Clarity doesn't guarantee that the journey will be easy, but it does guarantee that the journey will be worth it. Because once you know what you're chasing, life starts to organize around your purpose. Resources appear, mentors show up, discipline becomes natural, and the compound effect kicks in. That's how you collapse time. That's how you make 12 months feel like a breakthrough decade. Clarity creates acceleration, and the clearer you are, the faster you rise. Every major transformation in life begins with a decision, not a wish, not a hope, not a prayer. Without action, a decision. One decision has the power to reroute your entire destiny. It's the moment you stop negotiating with mediocrity and start commanding your future. The truth is, your direction is not determined by your circumstances, it's determined by your choices. You are not where you are today because of what happened to you. You're where you are because of how you responded to it. Most people think change comes from information, but transformation comes from decision. You can hear every motivational message, read every book, attend every seminar, but if you never decide to shift, your life stays the same. Decisions are the turning points that separate the dreamers from the doers. And here's what you have to understand. Indecision is still a decision. It's a passive choice to remain stuck. When you make a real decision, you cut off any other possibility. You stop entertaining plan B. You stop flirting with excuses. You burn the boats and you commit. That's the power of decision. It eliminates confusion. It silences the noise. It creates focus. Every successful person you admire didn't have more time, more luck, or more money. They made stronger decisions and backed them with relentless action. A powerful decision acts like a compass. It gives you direction when things get dark, because there will be days when motivation fades. There will be days when it doesn't feel like it's working. But if your decision is anchored deep enough, you keep moving anyway. That's how results are created, by choosing the destination before the evidence shows up. This isn't about making 100 little choices. It's about one massive non-negotiable decision, that you will no longer settle for less than you're capable of, that your life must align with your calling, that the next year will not be a repeat of the last. And once that decision is made, truly made, your actions shift, your habits change, your standard rises, and your path begins to reflect your potential, not your past. Your direction is not waiting on a miracle, it's waiting on a made-up mind. Decide who you will become, and the road will start rising to meet your feet. Destiny is not something you stumble into, it's something you structure your life around. And the structure is built on daily disciplines. Most people are chasing breakthroughs while ignoring the basics. They want transformation without consistency, but the truth is your future is hidden in your daily routine. What you do repeatedly, even when it feels small, is building the results you'll live with tomorrow. The difference between the successful and the stagnant isn't talent, it's rhythm. It's showing up every day, doing the small things with excellence, and refusing to let emotions dictate execution. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like it. Feelings are fleeting, but discipline produces fruit every time. Your body, your mind, your finances, your relationships are all shaped by what you choose to do daily, not what you say you want eventually. Discipline isn't about punishment, it's about alignment. When your habits align with your vision, progress becomes inevitable. You can't pray for one outcome while practicing another. You can't expect to rise while doing the things that keep you average. The habits you practice in private determine the harvest you experience in public. If your days are filled with distraction, don't be surprised when your destiny feels delayed. The magic isn't in the big moves, it's in the consistency of the small ones. Reading 10 pages a day, making 5 sales calls, drinking water, speaking affirmations, stretching your body, investing in your mind. These may seem insignificant in the moment, but success is always a compound effect. One disciplined day leads to another, then a week, then a month. And before long, you've built a life most people only dream of, not because you're special, but because you stayed consistent. What you do once in a while creates moments. What you do every day creates momentum. And momentum is what carries you through resistance, doubt, fatigue, and failure. That's why you can't afford to treat your days casually. Every day is a seed. Every discipline is a brick. You are literally constructing your future with your daily choices. You don't need to be extreme, you just need to be consistent. The person who executes a simple plan with discipline will always outpace the person waiting for the perfect plan. The world doesn't respond to what you intend, it responds to what you implement. Your destiny is in your discipline. Master your day and you'll master your life. You cannot rise to a new level while staying in the same environment that created your current results. Your surroundings are either shaping your success or sabotaging it. Environment is not just where you are, it's who you're around, what you listen to, what you allow into your space, and what you normalize as good enough. If you're serious about elevating your life in the next year, you must be even more serious about curating your environment. Your environment sets the ceiling on your growth. You can have all the motivation in the world, but if you're constantly surrounded by negativity, doubt, laziness, or small thinking, it will eventually pull you back down. You can't keep hanging around people who are content with mediocrity and expect to live a life of mastery. You will always drift toward the temperature of the room you're in. If you want to rise, you've got to get around the heat. Your environment either pushes you toward your potential or permits you to stay average. That's why it's not just about cutting off toxic people, it's about connecting to the right ones. You need to be around those who challenge your comfort, not those who coddle your excuses. You need voices in your life that call you higher, not those that keep you entertained and unfocused. The people you spend time with are shaping your thoughts, your standards, your habits, and ultimately, your outcome. Revelation requires isolation, at least temporarily. There are seasons when you have to disconnect to reconnect with your mission. You may have to walk alone for a while to prepare for where you're going. Growth is uncomfortable, and it often means outgrowing the environments that once felt safe. That's okay. Comfort never produces greatness. You must protect your space like your life depends on it, because it does. But environment isn't just physical, it's also mental. What are you feeding your mind daily? What are you watching, listening to, and scrolling through? Because whatever you consume consistently will begin to program your subconscious. Garbage in, garbage out. Greatness in, greatness out. If you want to change your life, you have to upgrade your mental environment just as much as your physical one. Transformation happens faster when you position yourself in places of growth. Invest in communities that stretch your thinking. Join rooms where you're not the smartest one there. Pay to be in proximity to people who have the fruit on the tree you want. You don't need more inspiration, you need more alignment. Because when your environment is aligned with your vision, elevation becomes inevitable. You rise to the level of your environment or you fall to it. The choice is yours. Change your surroundings and you will change your story. Every lasting transformation begins in the unseen. Faith is the foundation of fulfillment, and focus is the force that brings it into reality. Without faith, you hesitate. Without focus, you drift. But when you combine the power of belief with the precision of attention, your potential becomes unstoppable. Faith gives you the reason to start. Focus gives you the discipline to continue. Together, they create the bridge between your current situation and your future success. Faith is not wishful thinking, it's a knowing. It's the conviction that what you're building already exists in another realm, and your job is to bring it into the physical through action, alignment, and consistency. Faith says, even if I can't see it yet, I know it's mine. It doesn't wait for evidence. It becomes the evidence. But here's what most people miss. Faith without focus is scattered energy. You can believe in a big future and still get nowhere if your daily attention is divided. Focus is how you honor your faith. When you believe in something deeply, you make room for it. You protect your attention. You eliminate distractions. You stop entertaining things that aren't aligned with your assignment. Focus isn't just about saying yes. It's about saying no to everything that doesn't match your vision. Because whatever has your focus has your future. If your eyes are on fear, that's what you'll create. If your eyes are on faith, that's what you'll build. When your faith is strong and your focus is sharp, you become a magnet for fulfillment. You start attracting the right people, the right ideas, the right opportunities, not because you're lucky, but because you're aligned. Your energy changes, your habits shift, your standard rises. You no longer chase success, it begins to respond to you. That's what fulfillment is, living in the flow of your purpose, backed by belief and directed by clarity. But fulfillment doesn't come from hustle alone. It comes from operating in your assignment with certainty and focus. It comes from waking up every day knowing you're doing what you were built to do and doing it with intention. It comes from trusting the process even when results aren't instant. Fulfillment is not the outcome, it's the byproduct of living with internal alignment. You have to believe it before you see it. Then you have to focus on it until you experience it. This is the formula. Faith plus focus equals fulfillment. Believe without wavering, focus without distraction, and your life will begin to reflect the promise you've carried in your heart all along. Success is not just about starting strong, it's about staying sharp. You cannot elevate your life if you never evaluate your progress. You have to measure what you're doing, adjust what's not working, and multiply what is. This is the formula that turns good intentions into great outcomes. Too many people are committed to the grind, but disconnected from growth because they never take time to reflect, refine, or realign. You don't rise by doing more, you rise by doing better. And the only way to get better is to measure. You have to track your actions, your results, your energy, your habits, your wins, and even your losses. Because what you don't measure, you can't manage. And what you can't manage, you can't multiply. Measuring isn't about judgment. It's about clarity. It tells you the truth. It shows you what's working, what's wasting your time, and where your leverage truly lies. Once you measure, you have to adjust. This is where most people miss their breakthrough. They stay loyal to strategies that no longer serve them. But winners don't just work hard, they pivot fast. If it's not producing fruit, don't cling to it. Change the method, not the mission. Adjust the approach, not the vision. The ability to adapt is what separates those who repeat the same year over and over from those who evolve every year on purpose. You must give yourself permission to improve. Growth requires updates. You're not supposed to be the same person in June that you were in January. That's why feedback is a gift, not a threat. Look at your progress, your patterns, and your mindset. Ask yourself weekly, what do I need to stop doing? What do I need to start doing? What should I double down on? The faster you answer those questions, the faster you accelerate. Then comes multiplication. Once you've measured and adjusted, you can scale. You can take what's working and pour more energy, more time, and more resources into it. Success leaves clues. And once you find the formula that works for you, repeat it, then increase it. Systems build speed. Strategy builds scale. Multiplication happens when you take mastery and turn it into momentum. It's no longer about addition. It's about exponential growth. Most people are stuck in cycles because they never stop to study the cycle. But if you want to transform your life in 1 year, this is non-negotiable, you must inspect what you expect. And you must be bold enough to change direction when necessary. Measure your actions, adjust with wisdom, multiply your results. That's how you move from chaos to clarity, from effort to efficiency, from survival to success. That's how you transform a good plan into a great life. The life you desire is not a distant dream, it's a decision away. It doesn't take 10 years to change your world. It takes 1 year of unwavering clarity, decisive action, disciplined habits, intentional environments, unshakable faith, focused execution, and a willingness to evaluate and evolve. You don't need another miracle. You need a moment where you finally say, this is the year I do it. Because when you commit to a 1-year success plan backed by belief and built with boldness, you unlock a version of yourself the world has yet to see. This is not about trying harder, it's about becoming more strategic. It's not about doing everything, it's about doing the right things daily with relentless consistency. Let the next 12 months be a declaration that you refuse to live on repeat, that you are done settling, done waiting, done wondering. This is your time to rise. This is your moment to build. Start where you are, use what you have, move with purpose. Because if you give the next year everything you've got, it won't just change your results, it will change your identity. You are the architect, the builder, the leader of your own future. 1 year, one decision, one unstoppable plan. Now go execute it and watch your life transform.